This is funny.
Actually,
remember.
no, let me make sure this isn't the one where they put the Curb Your Enthusiasm music under it. So I think
those
that might
fools.
be.
That sounds
Give me
funny.
a second.
So I will just say that, let's see. Okay. It used to be Sam Harris. That still happens. There's a lot of people who always go, no, you weren't fair. And I have no doubt I've made mistakes. And anytime I've ever made a mistake, obviously you try to correct it and fix it. That's part of the nature of, especially doing 3 hours of, or 2-3 hours of live show a day. You are going to make mistakes. But, there was a ton of like, no, that wasn't fair. And you said what I said. With Sam, the Andrew Yang people are obviously extremely touchy about getting their UBI to their landlord. And all candidates can be very, very touchy. And then weirdly, some people get super defensive of John Oliver and Trevor Noah, which is that
Why?
one is the most bizarre to me.
Literally, why?
Yeah. There was a period of time where I felt it was necessary to have a little bit more of an intelligent conversation about Elon Musk. And there were a lot of people, apparently grown adults, who found this extremely upsetting in such a bizarre, pathetic, and sad way that it proved the point of needing to do that content, because that kind of like weird hero worship was obviously really unhealthy. But then it became like almost such a pile on, and I can never compete with Azalea Banks clowning somebody. So I was kind of like, all right, whatever. And also, like, believe it or not, I don't wait. Like, nobody should be a billionaire, and we're not going to solve climate change through some, one individual person, no matter how supposedly brilliant. Once that point is established, I don't need to keep talking about the guy. So I haven't talked about Elon Musk for ages. And he's had several mishaps that I've chosen to not talk about since then, just to be clear for the people out here who are still, so emotionally wrapped up in this guy. But this was funny.
Sure? Yeah. Oh my God. Well, maybe that was a little too hard. Should we try the beer?
Oh.
Sorry?
This is not at the end of their presentation.
It didn't go through. So that's a plus side.
Let's try the beer.
Try that one, really? Okay. Yeah. Sure.
This guy's not helping.
It didn't go through. All right. Not bad. Room for improvement.
Oh.
That was kind of cute, actually.
Let's watch it again, though, because it's very funny.
He's so hapless.
Oh, man. And that's supposed to be completely, like,
I don't understand.
right?
How did you not test that? How did you not know it was
They don't
go
have
like
the
that?
capacity.
Yeah.
It's
Elon,
it's like this small like shop that is, the whole fantasy about Tesla and Elon Musk. And it wasn't just like, yeah, this guy might be talented, he might be creative, so you put him in part of a bigger creative system and maybe he could be helpful or maybe not. I really don't know. But the idea that this singular genius is going to solve all these problems is, it's first and foremost an economic, ecological, and political disaster for everybody, but it's also bad for him. Why do you think this guy is losing his mind, tweeting nonsense and getting into stupid feuds and working too much and freaking out? Like, that's not good. No one can shoulder that. And by the way, even Steve Jobs, first of all, worked in a totally different environment media-wise than Elon Musk, both in terms of what he could get away with and also in terms of like not being he cultivated a mystique around him, which was very helpful. And he also, look, let's be honest. Look, computers and phones, and yes, it is absolutely changed how we've lived. There's no doubt about it. But it's also not completely fundamentally redesigning the energy and transportation economy. There's a reason that nut has not been cracked yet. That is more complicated at the end of the day. And he went through I don't know. Steve Jobs failed out, got pushed out of his own company in his 20s. I don't know how much that would have been compounded by having the opportunity to be an idiot on Twitter. And incidentally, by their own metrics that they care about, Steve Jobs obviously smarter and more talented, in my opinion, than Elon Musk.
Right.
For as much of just a gargantuan gaping asshole.
But still, it's all like this myth of lords of creation.
And that's also not how it worked too.
Which is like what Elon Musk is.
Yeah.
He's like the reason, like the big part of his job is becoming this meme that you associate with technology. So
Right.
I put the word up there, vocabulary word for today, impresario.
Right.
Like that's what Elon is more than an engineer, right?
Right.
He attracts.
And that was what Job was.
Right, exactly.
Everybody said, look, at the end of the day, he's like P.T. Barnum.
But I mean,
Yeah.
do we want to watch it again?
Yeah, let's watch it one more time. It's funny.
That is the model for progress that we have under capitalism, right? These captains of industry who are going to make progress happen with their great ideas. So it makes sense that people who grew up totally inculcated with that ideology would believe that. But I am glad that we have Elon Musk out there being so visibly hapless, because he just punctures that myth faster than that rock punctured that window just now.
Sure? Yeah. Oh my God. Well,
Oh my effing God is not, I think.
maybe
what,
that was a little too hard.
That, by the way, was really not that hard.
Yeah, no. If I wanted to smash a window, I would throw a fastball through that.
Yeah, that was not. That was a
It didn't go through.
nice
That's a plus side.
Here's a
slider
little lob.
over the
Oh,
plate.
really? Okay.
Here's an off-speed pitch.
Oh, man.
I mean, did these windows ever not break?
It would break at the wind. Oh,
It's funny because they had to still do a lot more promotional stuff after that. So for instance, park a four-wheeler in the back of it. But they had to do that with those broken glasses. So all the shots.
It's like a scene from Silicon Valley.